You might be feeling like your supervisor has their hands in everything that you're doing. They're peeking over your status reports, asking all the time, what's up with this, where's this at, and meddling in the day-to-day tactics of your team in a way that just isn't helpful for your overall team sense of progress. You feel this encroachment more and more, you feel it being distracting, and yet, as the direct report, what is it that you can really be doing when you're trying to lead your own team? I'm Claire, I'm the CEO of Canopy, a leadership improvement app where we give you everything to really help answer tough questions just like this. And today I'm going to talk about a manager tip that's really about trying to encourage our own supervisor to be a bit more hands-off. Now, our manager tips are really things that we really give back to our manager community. So if you want to make sure to always be updated when we release a new one, be sure to subscribe to our Canopy Manager tips below if you haven't already. Now, when you're considering how to encourage your own supervisor to be a bit more hands-off, there's a few things that we'll want to consider. First is that we'll want to keep in mind that our own leader oftentimes wants to be helpful. They want to be adding value and giving a point of view that we're going to say, oh my gosh, thank you. And so assume that our own supervisor has good intentions when they are meddling in different to-dos or asking really pointed questions that you might feel are a bit too often. And when we can sort of begin to reorient our own assumption and framework for why it is our supervisor might be too hands-on, then we can look to have a more calm and gracious reaction when they start to be a bit too hands-on. Which leads me to my next few suggestions, which is first and foremost, one of the most important ways to make sure you have a productive relationship with your supervisor is to really help to define the roles that you have versus what your supervisor has. And so for you as the direct leader of your team, it may be a part of your roles and responsibilities to make sure that certain outcomes are delivered upon, that you're accountable for different pieces for your team. And for your supervisor, their true role is more so to set the overall departmental vision or organizational vision and to really be thinking about recruitment or culture on a more broader level. So those are maybe two ideas, right, of how your two roles differ. But you're going to want to help gently to remind your supervisor that there is a distinction in your two roles and that there are other ways in which they could be supportive and helping out. So for example, you could offer questions such as, hey, I would actually love to have more support in really understanding what the overall vision is that we're really headed towards, and then what I can focus on is the actual tactics for how to get there. Or perhaps you can say, it would be really helpful for me to understand how our two roles are distinct and how we can both be working more productively and more in sync to really accomplish our bigger picture goals. So really help your supervisor to define those roles together. And then lastly, we'll want to try to give our supervisors as many reasons for them to not feel like they need to be so hands-on. And so take a moment to reflect how it is that you might be communicating status reports, how it is that you might be pushing information flow upwards so that they don't have really any reason to feel like they need to be more hands-on in a more direct way. Now, of course, these are just starting places. To really dive deeper into how to effectively manage up, we actually have a module in Canopy that talks really specifically about more tactics on how to have a productive relationship with your supervisor. So do be sure to check out Canopy and join us for more Canopy Manager tips just like this. We look forward to having you really dive into everything, and we'll have you here next time. Thanks so much.